Hello everyone, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today, as you guys can see, I am doing another comparison video when it comes to this beautiful palette that I just received in the mail about less than 24 hours ago. I am currently wearing it on my eyes. I will pop a photo of my look today so you guys can see, because I used a specific area of this palette to show that it is still mauve, even though it doesn't look mauve when you look up close to it. So I've only played with 6 shadows in here. I have not touched the rest of the palette, and I'm here to do that with you guys today. And we're going to compare it to other palettes, give you guys a little bit of background of this palette. I did watch her live video explaining this palette, so I wanted to give you guys more insight just in case you didn't watch that or don't care to watch that. You guys can get a little bit of an idea what she was thinking about this palette specifically. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Bright Japan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now let's get on with the comparison. All right, you guys, so I zoomed you in a little bit more so you guys can see this palette. This is what the palette looks like right here. It is beautiful. This is the Retro palette. This is the big sister of the little Retro palette, which I will get to in a second because I do own that one. I did pull out a few Natasha Denona 5-pan minis and the $65 ones, so you guys can see a little bit of a comparison to them. This is the second, maybe even third, because I think the Star palette was also a cool tone. This is about the third palette where it's cooler toned eyeshadows. So if you're into cool tones, she is catering to you. And if you love mauve tones, here you go. I am not the biggest fan of mauve tones, but when it comes to Natasha Denona formula, I had to get this and see what the fuss was going to be all about. So this palette is obviously $65 US. When I have this video up, it should be already available. It is permanent, it is not limited edition, and she is the expansion of the Retro palette. According to Natasha Denona, she will be expanding on the Retro palette line, so she's not finished with the retro aspect of it. She has other ideas that she wants to use, that she is taking inspiration from the little mini Retro, which I'll get to in a second. So this one's about a mauve. You're getting her creamy matte formula, which we love. There's 3 shadows in here that are creamy mattes. From my understanding, there are shadow toppers, ones that have glistening, you have your shimmers, and you have your regular mattes in here. She mentioned that this one is one that she has had a lot of fun with, and I personally feel like this palette is perfect for wedding. If you are a makeup artist and you do makeup on brides, mother of the brides, I think this would be a perfect palette to have in your makeup artistry kit, because I think you can get almost all, you can get all skin tones with this. You have deeper versions to really deepen things out, but you also have these really lighter ones that you can work with lighter skin tones. So I think this is great for anyone. And if you do bridal makeup, I think this would be a perfect palette for it. So let's get into it, because I know you guys are dying to see. This is the little section. I'm going to show you this real quick because I know a lot of people are struggling with whether this is really mauve or not mauve, if it's too light or not too light. As you guys can see here, it looks like a mauve palette. If I cover these 6 shadows, which are the 6 shadows I am wearing, you can clearly see that that is all mauve deeper tones. If I close this up, this is the lighter section of the palette. This palette, this side of the palette looks like it's not mauve, but you guys have all 6 of these shadows on my eyes. These all have some sort of pinky mauvey undertone to them that it does look mauve on my eyes. This is not just a white. This is a pinky white based. It goes well because it's not white. It has like this pinky hue to it. So you guys do not think that you're not getting a mauve palette. You are. She just made it where you're getting these lighter sections over here, and if you close it, you could see that clearly, and then that is the lighter version, which I actually am a fan of this side a lot more than this side. This is what the side that drew me in, and this is all the 6 shadows that I'm currently wearing right now, and they're all beautiful and stunning. I had no issues with these at all whatsoever. All right, you guys. So she made the retro palette to go alongside the glam palette. Now this glam palette right here is the palette that is the neutral cool tone, basically your browns, mauve, taupey shades. This I got for my birthday. My birthday's in the summer, so that's why it looks brand new, because I haven't played with it because I don't do cool tones in the summer too much. Now that we are going into fall and my tan is going to start to lose its and go away, I'm going to start playing around with this one around November-ish, October, November-ish. That's when I'll start to play around with this one more. But I wanted to bring these two out because the retro is the basically the sister to go with the glam. If you're into cooler tones, she made one that was more mauves and more of a colorful. And I'm using that, you know, color because some people consider this to be color versus something green or blue. So these are supposed to go together. I wanted to show you both of them together so you can clearly see that if you own the glam and you wanted the retro, you think it might be too much going on. There is no overlap because these are two different color stories and I cannot see any of the shadows looking similar at all. I will show you some just to show you guys. Like for instance, this one, it's called the center eyelid. I don't think, let me see, that's like a pinky tone right there. Can you see that right there? And then I would think it would go with this one called Hello. And it's totally different. See how deep that looks on the eyes? And look how light it looks in here. That's one of the shades I have on my eyes. And look at that. So those are not the same at all. Now this one I'm going to do too. This is called the outer eyelid. I don't know why she called them these. And then I would say Jude would be one. So this is the one in the glam palette. And then this is the one in the retro. The retro one's a lot more purple mauve base. Can you see that? And this one's a lot more gray taupey. So those two are not also the same. They're different from one another. Inner corner, I would say might be Glitz, but these are totally different. Inner corner in the glam palette, it does have some sort of pinky hue to it. And then Glitz is more of a sparkle shadow. This is one of the shadows that I am dying to play with. This one's a lot more sheer, and she made it sheer on purpose so it could play around with other shades. In person, inner corner is a lot more deeper and saturated in color. Like I said, Glitz, she made it more like a softer sheer formula. So these two look similar, but they're different in their finishes. And I think that might be it, you guys, for these two. I don't see anything else overlapping. There is no taupey. Like this brown one is deeper than this one out here, so I don't see these two being the same. You're going to get different depths. So you are getting two different palettes here if you're curious about that. All right, the other large palette I wanted to showcase for you guys is the Love palette. This Love palette is new to my collection. I got this for Mother's Day. So I have played around with it, but I haven't really showcased it because Mother's Day was in May, and then we started getting into summer colors, so I put it away, but I have played with it a little bit. This is probably the one that you're probably like, ooh, I am dying to see if any of these are similar. So this is where a lot of the swatches are going to come into play. So we're going to pull in this shade right here called First, because it is the lightest shade, and then Mood, what is it called? Mod. You probably think that these two look the same, but you can see that the one in the Love palette has a lot more peach undertone, and this one has a lot more pink. And I'll show you that right here. You can see that right there. This is from the Love palette, and this is from the Retro. Totally different, completely different. Another shade you might consider is this one called Lifetime. This one's a lot more peachier, see? And I would say possibly this one called Patty. This is another one I'm wearing on my eyes. See, totally different. They look the same in the pan, but they're not. And you see how that one has a mauve undertone to it too? It looks brown in the palette, but it has like a mauve undertone to it. Then we have Heartbeat, and you're probably thinking Amara. The one in the Love palette. Trying not to blind you guys with the mirror, so that's why I'm not bringing it down. These they look similar, and they do have the same kind of formula too. The only difference I would say is the one in the retro palette is a lot deeper and mauve toned. And this one I feel like has more red to it. The heartbeat in the Love palette. All right, you guys, let's keep going, shall we? So let's see this one. These purple. Can I find a purple one? The Swing in Retro. Ooh, that's a pretty purple. I would say Pure Love, but I don't think so. Let's see. Let's see. This is from the Retro, and this is from the Love palette. Ooh, totally different. Again, that's a lot deeper, and then this one's a lot brighter, more like a pinky fuchsia shift. It's really pretty though. Maybe Passion in the Love palette, and then Rebellion from the Retro palette. And this one right here, Rebellion, is that creamy matte formula. Oh no, they're totally different. See that? This one right here is Passion from the Retro, and then this one has a totally different finish, and it has like pinky sparkle to it. So yeah, these are not the same. What about Soul and Amara? No, see? That's different too. So this is the Love, and this is the Retro. Again, totally different, you guys. You can see there's similarities, but it's not exactly the same. It depends on what you like. If you're into more of the mauve tones, I would go for the Retro. And definitely if you want more of the pinky, purpley tones, warmer tones, kind of, I would go with this one. The last one I want to share with you guys is this one, Commitment, which is this deep shade. And then Apart, totally different again. Completely different. This one is a eggplant purple, and then this one's like a gray purple. Yeah, not the same either. All right, I hope that helped you guys if you're interested in the Retro and have the Love palette. Now you're probably wondering what the Retro looks like to the mini Retro. Completely different. She has hinted that she is planning on expanding this little mini one with more greens in it, which I'm very excited about because I really do like this one. The only shades that I would see, this one right here, and Psychedelic. These two might be similar, so let's see. This is from the Retro, and this is now. The one in the big Retro is a lot more pinky, a lot more white based, and then the one in the mini has a lot more depth to it. And it has like this green sparkle. I actually like this one more than this one, because I'm not into these little baby pink ones. But you could see that this one's a little bit deeper. You can tell the difference between these two. And then maybe you're thinking about this one right here, and then this one right here, which is Nude Mauve. Nope. These are totally different as well. You can see it right there, but these two together. See how that one has a mauve undertone to it too? You can see that has a little bit of purple to it. And this one has more pinky to it. And that's it, you guys. That's the only these two. This pink one, oh, let's see. No, this is way too pinky salmon-y. And like this one right here in Andy is a lot deeper purple. And it's a different finish too. You can see it right there. That is Andy. And then that, see, it's way more pink based. And again, that has purple to it undertone. I'll show you a swatch of all of these at the end of the Retro, the new one, so you guys can see that as well. I thought I'd share the last two with you here. This one is the mini Love palette, and then this one is the mini Zendo. Zendo is a lot more cooler tone, but it has a lot more warmth to it. It has cool and warm tones. Like, I don't see any overlapping between these two if you have the Zendo. This one's a lot warmer. Yeah, like if I were to choose this one and then Patty over here, yeah, they're totally, let me wipe my arm. This one is from the Zendo. This is from, see, the depth is different. And then this one is more purple, and this one is a lot more cooler tone. See the difference? So again, not the same. So you're not getting repeat shades, which I appreciate. So this is completely out, and then this one, I'll show you this one. Here and here, Totally different. This one's peachier in the Zendo, and this is more pinky. Right there, you can clearly see that. Now the Love, Mini Love. I see this purple and this one. Totally different finishes, so I would not, yeah, even the undertones of those are different. So I wouldn't say that those two. And then, dun, 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 this one with this one. This is more peachy base in the Little Mini Love. And this one is more of a sheer topper with, this one's a lot more pink white base. The one in the Little Mini Retro, and then or not Mini Love, and this is the Retro one. The Retro is a lot more sheer. You could see how more pronounced this pigment is than this one. And then the last one, you're probably thinking this one with Patty again. Ooh, but those are different. Totally different, yep, big time. You could see that this one is from the Love and this one is from the Retro. Again, totally different. Now I wanted to share two palettes with you guys that you're probably wondering, well, these are my mauve palettes. These are probably the most well-known, I guess. I don't know. There are other mauve palettes, but these are the two that come to my mind whenever I think of mauves in my collection. So I wanted to share these with you guys. This is the mauve palette from Huda, and this is the Retro one. You can see that this one has similarities. You can see that even this brown right here kind of fits in with this side of the family over here. Obviously there's going to be totally different finishes and different formulas between both of them, but you can see that she has a lighter pink in here, lighter pink in here. So if you have this one and you don't think you might need this one, you're getting a similar color story. This is just smaller. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not going to swatch these because I think it's not the same. It's not apples to apples. It's just coloring. So, but I wanted to share this with you guys so you can see whether this is something you want if you have this one. And of course, I couldn't do this without the Modern Renaissance. Everyone's sick and tired of the Modern Renaissance, so I wanted to see if you cared for this one. You could see that this one, the Modern Renaissance, has mauve tones in it, but it also has warmer tones in it. So if you wanted more cooler tones, the Retro is giving you that. This is giving you more warmth, and this is giving you more cool tones. This mauve shade can work in here. Antique bronze maybe can be on this side over here. You see how that'll work with that. Cypress umber might be warm taupe maybe. So I wanted to show both of these because maybe some of you guys may have thought that this could be a mauve palette, but now you see the difference. This is completely different. This is more cooler toned. You're getting a lot more mauves, a heck of a lot more mauves. Even these have undertones of pink or mauve tones in here. They're not browns, you guys. The most brown I would say is this, but this one even has a purple hue under it, undertone to it. I wanted to share that with you guys, and now I'm gonna swatch this whole entire palette and share it with you guys. All right, you guys, that is my quick, hopefully, comparison. I hope that I was able to help out those that were still questioning whether this is a palette for you or not. I have only, like I said, played with these 6 shadows over here, but I can see the mauveness in these. I am not a mauve lover, and I did enjoy this side completely. It was a lot of fun. You are getting 3 of those creamy mattes that she is known for in this palette. Those she has mentioned are to help you diffuse the other mattes. So if you are having trouble or needing a matte to help out diffuse a different matte, those creamy mattes are the ones that are supposed to help you to diffuse that. So bear that in mind, keep that in mind, because they blend really easily. Here's one right here, and you could see how easily that blends out, and it can sheer out for you. So don't be afraid of them. And they do not crease on me, and I have super oily lids all year round, especially even more in the summer, and I have not had an issue with those at all whatsoever. So that's it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see anything else with this palette. I will do a look. I will post more looks on my Instagram if you're interested in checking them out there. I'll put more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.